Hey everyone, Maury Curtis Dunbar here. Welcome back to Painted Studio. As you can see, I'm wearing one of my fabulous Fifi Mahoney Halloween Dia. I'm going to say it badly because I have no Spanish accent, but it's de los Muertos. I hope I said that correctly because my Spanish is pathetic. So if I have said it wrong and offended somebody, I apologize. But these Fifi Mahoney's down in New Orleans. She just sent me my new ones. And today, even though it is Halloween on my head, it's Christmas in my head. So we are going to start working on some Christmas stuff today now that I can see through my glasses. And, I was out running about and, well, I just happened to stop over at the dollar store yesterday while I was going to Home Depot. Sorry, kind of get my hair out of my glasses so I can see. So Home Depot, Dollar Store had these cute little trees, but they had lots of good stuff. Now, I'm not a dollar store person, but I love their laser cut, little inexpensive cutouts. Hey, Terry, nice to see you. And Stephanie, thank you for popping in. They had this little gingerbread house. They had little laser cut Christmas ornaments. And then they had the phrases, which are so cute. Peace on earth. I'll flip it backwards so you can all see it. We have, I'm flipping them so you can read them instead of me. Merry and bright. And of course we have Let It Snow. So I'm jumping right into Christmas because what do we people who paint things for seasonal decor do? We're a little bit ahead of the season. So while I'm working on a video that is an exclusive content for our YouTube channel, we're going to be showing how to create a candy shoot and foil it. But right today, we're going to be working on Christmas. Yay! My favorite time of year. All right, so down in front of me, today all we're going to do is prep stuff with different colors. So I have ideas for each one of these. And we're gonna start with the Let It Snow. Now there's already a little glitter on stuff here, not because of me, but because it was near glittery things in the dollar store. So while I was there, because I always run out of these, I picked up a pack of sponge brushes. These are super cheap. These are no better, no worse, no different than anything I get at Home Depot. And since they were right there and I was running low, that was convenient. Now, just so you notice, these are really thin and you can see they can warp really easily. So once we finish painting these, if this curls a little more, I may put a book on it for a couple of days just to flatten it out. We're gonna paint the Let It Snow with Set Coat by Faux Effects in their standard red. Because I got some ideas of how we're gonna decorate this. And I'm using a sponge brush and I'm gonna sort of pat the paint on. You can see I put it on really heavy right there. But what this helps do is kind of keep a lot of the seeping that happens in little detail spots like this from happening. And instead, we can kind of just coat it and pounce it where it might be the seep kind of issues, seepage, like big blobs and dribbles and drips. I do this with a brush. I know people are using makeup sponges to pounce some of these areas. For me, it's a cheap sponge brush or whatever I have on hand. And especially the really cheap sponge brushes like these, I don't even try to wash them out and recycle because I'm beating on them hard enough that I'll probably snap the plastic support in the center. Now the paint's going to soak into this really well. This is not balsa wood, but it's probably very thin birch or poplar. Balsa's too fragile. And I'll just brush it down because I want to get out the stippling marks since I don't have them anywhere else. So I put the paint on where it's thick and kind of move it around, and then I come back and do the smoothing out of the paint. That keeps me from having a lot of blobbing and stuff going in weird places. Man, these are cheap chip brushes because I've already pounced through, kind of already broken through the sponge through right there. You got that center plastic part showing. I'm so proud of myself when I do stuff like that. Now I will paint both sides of these so that it's consistent no matter what. If I want to hang it in a window, I don't have to look at a messy backing on it. I may not do all the complete design on both sides. I haven't decided yet. I might do something completely different, but not likely. Cheap brush. You can see I just scraped into the paint with that plastic. This is why you use cheap brushes and then plan to throw them away. I'm loving this little Let It Snow. It's so cute. These things are so cute. And again, dollar store. And we have our own cutouts here. They're much larger. We have Santas and trees and reindeer and snowmen and wreaths and all kinds of ornament shapes and wonderful, wonderful cutouts. These are just a little smaller, and they can often be easier in Alive because they are smaller, so you can see them. So you have the options of using little things like this, or you can buy some of our bigger cutouts, which are so wonderful, and I can't wait to get them out. But, you know, I just finished doing 1 million for our, just doing a gazillion of them for the Halloween window, so we'll wait a little bit before I do another one. All right, so the next one, I think Peace on Earth, we're gonna start out in black. I'm not worrying that I'm setting this down on possibly wet paint, because I know I'm going to paint the backs over, and by the time I flip it over in the back, it'll all be fine. Of course, I can always come back if I don't want that there, and take a little brush, wipe it back so it's not quite so heavy. And I want you to know that is more than I've ever done in my life in my studio to clean up a mess on a piece of brown craft paper. All right, so we're going to paint the Peace on Earth is going to start out black. And you know, I think I'm going to be smart and take these little pieces of twine off. I don't want to cut them because I want to keep them. But, oh, I'm great. I'm getting red paint on it even. I'm so gifted. But this will just make it easier to paint instead of getting it all over the twine. I should have thought of that before I did it, but, you know, before I started, but that's not how my brain works. I always have to do things in slightly reverse. Yep. There we go. You can see I splattered a little paint. No harm, no foul. I'll just use that. This is black set coat, by the way. We're using black set coat. And now you know why we put paper on things, because I do stuff like that. Oh no, I splattered some paint. Won't be the first, won't be the last. So fall is my favorite season, but I'm an East Coaster, and Midwest is different in the fall than the East Coast. Shocker, I know. It's actually very specifically the smell. Trees that grow where I grew up, you know, where I grew up just outside of New York City, which meant we weren't far from the ocean. So there's a little difference in the way the trees grow and how they smell when the leaves fall and they decay. And I usually go home once every fall just to experience that. Well, this year obviously didn't happen, but I'll save it for another time. And meanwhile, I'm going to start embracing all the Christmas stuff, even though I'm going to have my autumnal smells burning in the background. I don't have any fragrances going today. I was not of the mindset this morning to get the fragrancers going. All right, I have used, so you can see I actually used all that paint that I accidentally splatted everywhere. Now I can open this up. Oh, good. I've even got black paint right on my brand new apron, and I hope you all are impressed that I actually got a new apron, because my other one had gotten so coated with stuff, and I had spilled some epoxy on it. I picked it up one day, put it on, and it literally split in half. I didn't know I could do that, but I did. So you can all say you've now met somebody who's actually painted their apron so much it's split. I used to say that I didn't throw my jeans away until they could stand on their own. Well, now my level of commitment is I don't throw an apron away until it splits in half. And yeah, that did it. All right, so we're just gonna put a little piece on earth here in the black. Our Wi-Fi's been down for half the day. They keep taking our Wi-Fi out. We had power outage. I found out what's going on. We have a library that's being built, and it seems that occasionally when they do the library stuff, they clip lines. So we had no power the other day. Now they're kind of messing with the internet in the neighborhood. Yeah, it's always entertaining to see what happens. All right, so my piece on earth is now painted black, and we're gonna let that set aside. And then once it's dry, I'm gonna flip it over and do the back. Okay, let's move that to the side and throw that brush over there. And we're going to do the Merry and Bright. I think we'll do in metallic navy. See if I can open this without splatting paint across the room. Yep, that one loosened up. No problem there. Just the one that I had to squirt the paint across the table. Fortunately, it managed not to ruin a darn thing when I did that toss across the room. Okay, so this one we're using Set Coat Metallic Navy. Now, Set Coat metallics are different than other conventional metallics. Set Coat metallics dry harder. They dry like regular Set Coat, which means they have high bonding properties and they dry really, really hard, as opposed to Faux Effects Metal Glow or Modern Masters metallics, which tend to dry softer and a little gummy feelings to me. This dries much harder. So, and there is nothing wrong with any of the products. I'm just telling you the difference in the way it dries. Okay, we're gonna come in here. Now later, in a little while, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna do another live, and we're gonna do a live with Lusterstone because we're coming to the end of the Lusterstone contest. Oh yay. I know you're all excited. I am so excited. You guys have been very, very close. So here's what's gonna happen. Tomorrow, if you haven't gotten the exact answer, and it is a very specific product, I'm going to give it to the first person going back, however long I have to go back, who has the closest answer. And some of you have been super close. So today and tomorrow morning are going to be your last chances to get your guesses in for our contest. And the contest prize is the Faux Effects Lusterstone Ice Collection, 5 16-ounce jars of the newest Lusterstone colors. If you're not familiar with Lusterstone, definitely want to enter this contest because it is a cool metallic plaster product. It can go on walls, it can go on furniture, it can go on ceilings. The only thing I don't recommend it for is floors because it's not hard enough. And it comes in pale colors and soft colors, and I'll cover more of that later. But right now, all we're doing is getting our little cutouts ready. And I think tomorrow we'll do some decorating and foiling and stuff on them. Today, We're getting into the ho 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 jingle bell mood. If my husband's watching, he probably just rolled his eyes in a big way at me saying that his wife, he knows his wife is a Christmas junkie and he's just had to learn to live with it. All right, so there's that one set aside. And we're at the last one I'm going to show you before we figure out something else is our little Christmas tree. And I think we're going to keep this as a short live today because I got lots going on and we got another live to do. Let's get this off. There we go. Set that to the side. So, the one thing I did want to do though, hang on a sec. Let me set that to the side. I want a clean piece of paper right there. Yes, you're gonna wonder why I need that clean and you'll understand in just a second. So this one, I thought I'd do something a little different with. I usually put set coat on everything to start it off. Well, this one, we're going to stain. And we're gonna use our Saman stain, water-based stain in the color Forest. So obviously I didn't want paint on here because that wouldn't have been very helpful to the final result. I'm gonna just take a little and brush it on. Now, I don't know if this is gonna pop any grain. I don't know what this is gonna do. And you can see, obviously, I applied super generously. So this is going on very, very dark. And this is water-based. So the cool thing with this, there's no binders in it. So if I needed to walk away from this halfway stained and then came back, all I'd have to do is put more stain over it and re-wet it with fresh stain and it would blend perfectly. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of our cheesecloth, make myself a little bit of a wiping pad there. I'm just gonna wipe it back. Now, to do anything else over this, I'm going to have to top coat it because, like I said, it re-wets with more water-based stain. So I have to make sure that I don't put anything over it before it's sealed, otherwise the stain will re-wet again. And I'm just gonna take the other side since I can. And we're gonna come back in here and brush that stain on. Now, you see where I had put it right before? Now I'm putting, or where it had been grabbing from the other side, like down here. There won't be any deeper stained spot there because I take my stain and I just brush it over there and it's re-wetting what's under there and it's all blending. Bet you never thought about staining some of your craft projects because it always seems so intimidating. Well, look how easy this is. Water-based stain, simple, easy peasy, works beautifully. Yeah, it'll stain your fingers. My fingers will be a little greenish tonight. By tomorrow, most of it will be gone. Of course, I shed everything too, so I'm one of those people that shed the paints, shed the stains. People have stuff on them for days. No, I shed it all. It all just disappears. I think maybe my body's rejecting it from all these years of using stuff. So just look how nice that looks stained. And that's very inexpensive wood, so that looks really cool like this. So this is gonna sit and dry. Don't ask me what I'm doing with this. We're gonna set it aside and figure that one out later. These two. Those are projects for another day. So we're gonna let those all dry. I'll be back in a little bit. We're gonna do some luster stone. We're going to have a more in-depth working with luster stone. So if you have questions that you want to ask about luster stone, because we all know that when I'm working on an easel, I don't always see your questions. So if you have questions about the product that you'd like to have answered even before I'm on camera, send them to me in an instant message, a PM, do whatever you'd like. Send it to me however you need to send it to me, and I will include it in the live, and your answer will be part of our video. Susan, I know you're laughing at my headband. Yes, it's Day of the Dead, Fifi Mahoney's, New Orleans. I should be getting money from this, but I'm not. So if you love these headbands, reach out to me. I'll give you the link, or I'll post it here. I always post the names of everything anyway. Hey, Margaret, nice to see you. All right, so one more time, we used our Saman water-based stain in Forest. We used our Set Coat Metallic Navy, Set Coat Black, Set Coat Red. That is just our jump off today. I will be back in about a half an hour. We're going to work with a little luster stone. We're going to have some fun with that. And we're going to talk about what you can do with that product. All right, everybody, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.